This episode of Fermented Adventure the Podcast is sponsored by Brewskits, handcrafted dog treats made from spent beer grains, oats, barley, and rye. No chemical preservatives, a great source of fiber, and packed with protein. Visit brewskits.com to see the full selection of treats for your dog and your cat. Receive 15% off, no minimum purchase on your first order by typing in lowercase FA 2024 at checkout. Cheers! Hello, ladies and gentlemen, craft spirit enthusiasts, and those interested in the intoxicating world of craft distilleries, cideries, meaderies, wineries, and the occasional foray into breweries. It's Rich Shane, and welcome to Fermented Adventure, the podcast, where we bring you the fascinating people that are making the mash, fermenting, distilling, bottling, pouring, and delivering to you some of the finest libations in the world. Before we get started, here are a few housekeeping items. Thank you for bringing the podcast into wherever you are and whatever you're doing. We truly are grateful that you have chosen to listen and make us part of your day. It would mean the world to us if you left a 5-star review. This helps us climb in the rankings, and it makes it easier for others to find us. Don't hesitate to leave us your comments as well. If the podcast didn't meet your expectations, tell us why. We're always striving to improve. You can find us at fermentedadventure.com. We are on Instagram and Facebook as Fermented Adventure. Email us at fermentedadventure@gmail.com. All right, FA Nation, let's meet our guests. Hi, Dawn.
Hi, Rich.
Dawn, it has been quite a long time since we did a date night chronicle, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
This is our first one of 2024, and it's right before Bar Convent Brooklyn, which we'll talk about shortly. However, Durham Distillery sent us these 2 bottles after episode 185. Lee Katrinzik was so nice. We talked about this on the podcast, but he wanted to make sure that we sampled these and we tasted these. The first one we're going to try is the Krupnikas. That's the spiced honey liqueur. And the next one is damn fine liqueur, Mocha. So we have a lot to run through. Krupnikas, what did you think of this spiced honey liqueur?
It's delicious. On the nose, I did get the spice. Like, I felt like you could get the spice right in your nose. Definitely you can smell the honey, and I also got ethanol. And then on the taste, I had, again, the honey really stands out. I got a little bit of orange and cinnamon. And then it was really cool because the spice was kind of on the both sides of the tongue, which was really neat.
So you enjoyed this one?
Yeah, it was great experience.
Yeah, to me, this is one of those things where we wouldn't have gotten to Durham Distillery. To have the ability and opportunity to try this, this is really special. So I'm jealous of those who live down in Durham, North Carolina, that can have this quite often. I don't know how much we're going to share this with our friends.
Probably not.
All right. So for those of you who are asking, what is Krupnikas? It's a spice Lithuanian honey liqueur steeped in centuries-old tradition. A legacy of love, wisdom, and craftsmanship. We're humbled that Brothers Vilge, I will tell you, it's on their label, and I don't know. Brothers Vilgalis entrusted us as custodians of this time-honored recipe. Look, if they're custodians of this, then this should be held under lock and key, so no one else knows about it, right?
Yeah, it's definitely unique.
So it's infused with a symphony of carefully selected spices, including cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, and vanilla, and harmonizing perfectly with North Carolina wildflower honey. It delivers a velvety smooth richness. Now, I will say, for me, it had a nose of sweet, sticky honey. Mm-hmm. I almost felt like if I were a bee in a beehive, I would be very happy to be there, just bathing in that honey. The wildflower, I got so much floral on the nose. Clove, just a wildflower meadow. Nosing this is just really nice. We actually brought this out to one of our fire pits, and it's just something nice to sit and nose and drink all by itself during a fire pit.
Yeah, I could see that.
Well, you not only can see it, you did it.
I did taste it. I don't remember.
All right. So on just the flavor is honey, this flowery meadow. Just I keep going back to that because it's almost like it reminded me in a way of Bar Hill Gin. And Bar Hill Gin has two ingredients, the juniper and the honey. But because the bees are out there in the field, it has all these wonderful just nuances of ingredients from everything those bees are collecting pollen from. So it almost took me back to that, where I got a lot of those characteristics and components. Flowery meadow clove. I got the clove, which to me, beyond it's 80 proof. It's 40 ABV. So it does allow the liqueur to stand up on its own. Baking spice is there. You know, we go to Kentucky and they talk about the Kentucky hug, right? Mm-hmm. That when you swallow, you get there. Yeah. To me, this is a North Carolina hug. So that's what they should be calling this, the North Carolina hug. And it drinks higher to me, or at an 80 proof. And I think that if it had been less, I think they dialed this in perfect. I don't know if we would have had that same experience. So I am very grateful for Lee and everybody there that's making this, because this is a treat. It's delicious. Yeah,
we may be pouring a little bit more tonight.
Maybe more. Okay. Now,
Brewskits. Beer, grain, dog bones, Brewskits. Your dog will go wild. Brewskits. Beer, grain, dog bones, a healthy alternative for your pup.
Brewskits are all natural and made in the USA. Visit brewskit.com. That's BREWSCUID.com.
I would love to know what cocktails they're making with this. It stands up well. I could see adding this and, let's say, making a bee's knees with this. Maybe adding some gin. Maybe we'll add some of the Bar Hill or the Tomcat and just add a little bit to that and see what that would taste like. But this is amazing. Now, that could be done as an after dinner, or it could probably sip on its own, or make some sort of cocktail out of it. Damn fine liqueur. Now, everything they put there, damn fine liqueur, it is a damn fine liqueur.
It is.
And this is Mocha. And I'm surprised you're not hiding the bottle. I'm surprised you're not hiding both bottles.
Not yet.
Okay. This is the first time we're having this. What did you think of the damn fine liqueur?
It's really good, but I was having a hard time figuring out what was on the nose and the flavor for me. I mean, I definitely got the coffee. I didn't get much mocha. I think I'm also getting like toffee or something. But I'm starting to really think like what I'm getting on the nose is maybe even popcorn kernels or something. It's weird. But I can't, that's why I said to you a little earlier, I'm like, it's something that is not normally in drinks, but it's just so familiar on the nose, and I think that's what it is.
I don't know what the base spirit they're using for this. And I think that you may not get a lot of the nose because essentially it's a cream-based liqueur. Mm-hmm. So that may mask to the nose some of those things. You definitely get, if you blindfolded me, I know I'm drinking coffee, yep, and I know I'm drinking chocolate. So everything there, and you're picking up some other things. Mm-hmm. So your nose must be working pretty good tonight.
I guess so.
Talk about how it tasted.
Again, it was just more that coffee and that toffee mixture together. It's delicious, but like they were pretty much the only things. Nice creamy flavor.
So this has a nice sticker on it that says, "Alert, deliciousness ahead." Now it's real chocolate, and a bottle may start with truffle. So I don't know what kind of a warning that is, but I can tell you it does. There is deliciousness ahead. Now, what they share with us about this is our Mocha liqueur is a perfect balance of handcrafted cold brew coffee from Slingshot Coffee Company and premium dark chocolate from Meadery Chocolate Factory. And I hope I'm saying that correctly. It is blended with cream. This deep, rich liqueur is a testament to local artisans. And it's funny because as I'm sipping it, that's the other thing I'm thinking, that this is such craft. Yeah. It's almost like it's wood local to where they are. And maybe our friend Scott Wishart of Scott Mini Woodshop, he could take that piece of wood and craft it, but he can only craft it here. And I think Lee and the team and Durham Distillery, this is something because of the partnership, they can only make this there. And going back to also what we tried here, the Krupnikas, this is something that is so special, you can't seem to get this anywhere else. Right. This is wonderful.
They are definitely two to hide.
Okay.
And I think why I'm having a hard time with the flavors is maybe this chocolate's so special, it has a lot of different flavors in it, and I'm trying to pick them up. I don't know.
That's a great point. I love that. So for me, this is the perfect balance of coffee and milk chocolate. I think the cream in there, although it's dark chocolate, the cream and the coffee really bring this out to me to be more of a milk chocolate experience. But I get such...
I can see that.
I get such chocolate in there. I get such coffee in there. So it tastes like mocha. It's a chocolate milk. It's a chocolate mocha milkshake. It's a chocolate coffee milkshake. It's like one of those adult milkshakes. I'm just gonna blend this maybe with ice and just enjoy it that way. Chocolate sweetness followed by deep, rich brewed coffee. I also got. It's funny because you said you got maybe a little orange on the nose on that, right? Or something? Popcorny?
Popcorny, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it was weird.
But I got orange on the flavor, the palate. So thank you so much, Durham Distillery, for sharing these. And, the only sad part I find about these is that once they're gone, we have to either make a trip to Durham and hope that they're still there, that they don't sell out, or that we're just going to have to buy a house in Durham, North Carolina.
Well, keep saying we're going to try to go down that area, so.
All right, that could be next. Yep. Speaking of going, Bar Convent Brooklyn, when this airs, will have already finished its first day. And those that have not been to Bar Convent Brooklyn, what can people expect on?
Wow, 2 days of just nonstop trying different spirits, meeting people from around the world. If you're a bartender, there's lots of classes and events that are geared for you. Yeah, there's a lot of great things to do there.
Excited to get back to Industry City.
Yes.
And I'm excited. I looked through the vendors, the spirit companies that are going to be there, some that we have not heard of before, some new opportunities to taste and try. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And I just get this feeling that the cocktails and some of the outside events, I have a feeling the cocktails and what they're going to do maybe a little bit more this year. I just am expecting a little bit more at Bar Convent Brooklyn. I know that last time when we did the wrap up, they talked about more activations and how the activations this past year have gotten better. So I'm excited. It looks like it's going to be some great weather. We will miss our friends Tom and Kim Bard from the Bard Distillery, but they're working that new still that they just put in pretty hard. But we're going to see old friends. We're going to see and make new friends. And it'll all be part of our fermented adventure. Is there anything else that comes to mind that you're excited about?
I'll just say friends. We get to see our friend Curtis from Beach Bee. He'll be there.
He said he's going to be there. So that's good. Beach Bee Meadery.
And Daniel from Smokin' Connie.
And Daniel apparently is back from Smokin' Connie.
Yeah.
If you haven't gone to Smokin' Connie and seen the garnishes, the citrus garnishes that he makes, you're going to buy a lot and you're going to use them a lot. You're going to amaze. Every time we serve them in cocktails, our friends love them.
They do.
They really do. I almost forget that I stuck it in there because people come up and go, "What was in there?" And then what are you talking about? Oh, that citrus piece you put in there. Because the garnish is just in some ways as good as the cocktail.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I know we have things on our agenda. We don't get to do a lot of these date night chronicles, although we have been out and about. We just got out and visited our friends at Pine Tavern Distillery this past week. Hit some wineries in New Jersey that we had never been to before. So we're trying to do what we can do. Time is limited, and there's a lot to experience.
That is very true.
Well, I know you're going to start pouring some more. And
I think so.
I think one of the things I also want to share is, please, like, share, and comment on the podcast. Let us know. We've got some great guests lined up coming soon for you. But
And even events.
And even events. We do have events. That's a little tease.
In July.
In July. That's a little tease. So thank you. Thank you so much for allowing us to come into your ears. Whatever you're doing, we appreciate you taking time to listen to the podcast. So thank you for all your support, and we look forward to seeing you or talking to you soon.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers.